Good evening, Whakalahiatu, and welcome to this evening's bulletin of BCN News. Leading our news tonight, a passenger who arrived last week with his family intending to stay permanently in Niue is creating concerns with the locals because of his previous criminal history. Sources from within government have confirmed that this person arrived in Niue on Monday the 21st of September, accompanied by his wife and children. According to the source, this man is a convicted felon who has served time in prison abroad but has never lived in Niue. The Niue authorities were alerted to the passenger's criminal history after the flight had already departed Auckland. Officials from Immigration Niue say that they are still investigating the situation and will not be making a statement until they have completed their investigations with Niue Police Department. Local residents are concerned that someone with a criminal history who has never lived in Niue before managed to get into the country in the first place. It's understood that Cabinet is aware of the situation but is awaiting the final investigations. However, Common Role member Olaf Jacobson is disappointed at the handling of this immigration matter. She spoke to BCN News today, saying that her role as a Member of Parliament is to raise issues on leadership gaps.
There has been an irresponsible action from top level of government, namely Cabinet, who will have had to view the listing and did not ask the appropriate questions as to who are these people, have we done due diligence on them, and that way it would sort everything else below. I believe the buck stops at the top. This is a call that has been made, I believe, with political influence, and I'm sad that this has taken a footing. I wanted to say this in all sincerity right at the very offset because I don't want a repeat of this sort of play so very early in the piece of a new administration of government.
The Immigration Act of 2011 stipulates that prohibited persons are unable to travel to or remain in Niue if they are a person who at any time has been convicted of any offence for which that person has been sentenced to a period of imprisonment, whether served or not, for an indeterminate period or for a period of 12 months or more. Any person who has been removed or deported from any country, including Niue, or a person, in the opinion of Cabinet Minister and the Chief Immigration Officer, believes that is threatening to national security and threatens the public order or public interest. Yesterday, the Minister of Immigration, Honourable Crosley Tatui, in a statement said that the investigation is still underway, asking for everyone to respect this process. Cabinet will be able to make their final decision after receiving the final report from the Immigration and Police Departments. The veteran politician, Honourable Olaf Jacobson, says that the decisions made by the officials should have been checked by Cabinet.
In this case, I don't believe that Cabinet had asked the right questions, and that's why I've come to make this statement, because I wanted them to know that we're watching from where we are and believe that this now sets a precedent for other things to come. So if the people at the top don't check these things, the people at the bottom will continue or fail to do their job. And it's important that we set it right from the beginning.
Premier Honourable Dalton Tagelangi says that he will be seeking answers from the Chinese Embassy in New Zealand about the Niueans on what was called the Zhenhua data list. It was reported in the New Zealand media 2 weeks ago that 23 Niueans are on this list called the Zhenhua data list. The list was the subject of a research paper by a student of the Fulbright University in Vietnam. The paper claims that China is collecting vast amounts of open source data to support influence and intelligence operations through private enterprises it then sells to state institutions. The list apparently contains the names of 2.4 million persons from all over the world, 23 names of whom are said to be Niueans. BCN spoke to the Premier about this and what it means for Niue in terms of security.
We are concerned, and we will be writing to the ambassador of the Chinese, and just for an explanation. I've been mindful because some of these data we don't know what are the purpose of their collection, apart from, as we know, other countries they collect it for your credit ratings or whatever, because they store your personal things. For this case, we're not sure what is the purpose for, so we will need some explanation, but at the same time we have faith in the New Zealand system with their security and intelligence office and keeping an eye not only theirs but also ours.
New Zealand is responsible for Niue's foreign affairs and defence, including security. BCN News contacted the office of the New Zealand Prime Minister about the situation last week and was referred to a press statement from the New Zealand Security and Intelligence Services Director General Rebecca Kitteridge, saying that the New Zealand Security Intelligence Service has the information relating to New Zealand and is reviewing it for any potential risks and security concerns. Ms. Kitteridge says that her office is assessing the situation, but they believe that the data collected is captured from what is available online, on social media and through news reporting. The Director General of New Zealand Security Intelligence Services encouraged the public to check the security setting on all social media accounts and be mindful of the type of information you reveal on social media. Meanwhile, Premier Tagilangi has said that he has also started discussions with Niue's Solicitor General into ways that Niue can expand on government's transnational crime unit, including surveillance capacity. The Office of the Premier and the Minister of the Public Service Commission has confirmed the appointment of the new chairperson of the Public Service Commission. She is Mrs. Aida Talangi Hekesi, former director of the Tourism Office. Aida Hekesi is also the current chairperson of the BCN board and has been a member of the Niue Development Bank board for some time. She has also been a former president of the Niue Chamber of Commerce. Her public service career started with the Tourism Office in 1996 after returning from Australia, where she worked in banking and finance. The statement from the Premier's office informs that Mrs. Aida Hekesi's appointment as Commissioner and Chairperson of the Public Service Commission will take immediate effect. The other two commissioners, Victoria Kalauni and Sionetasi Pulhetoa, will remain as commissioners. And Premier Tagilangi says that the discussions on the changing of the dateline for Niue will require feedback from the people, but that it is also not a priority for the government right now. The Premier says that the government has been looking at this issue because it has been raised in the Whanoi Kepule a number of times before. He says that the government is looking at this seriously, but it is not a priority at the moment given the challenges confronting the country and the government with COVID-19 and budgetary constraints.
I know it's straightforward to changing it, but it's just the process to do that. It had to come from the people and everyone, and we will listen to that. Those who want it to change, they have to have a strong argument about it. And trying to not so much convince, but for an understanding of the others. As I mentioned, we're also religious people. The same thing happened to Samoa as well. Those who go to church on Saturday, now they go on Sunday because they believe it's the right Saturday. It's that day that they've changed. So things like that. But in the end, we're going to bring it up to the people. And then we'll take it from there.
And the registered gun owners on the island can start packing away your firearms because the last day for the shooting seasons for the fruit pigeons and the bat will be tomorrow, September 30th. The police department says that this is the date set by Cabinet in August and expect that all firearm license holders will abide by these rules. At the opening of the season last month, there was some concern that the ammunition was quite expensive at the cost of $50 per carton. The police department confirmed that there is still ammunition available should Cabinet decide to reopen the season again in future months. Last weekend would be one that will never be forgotten by young Ramsey Edwards and her family. She celebrated winning multiple awards, qualifying for the New Zealand Olympics competitions later in the year, and doing this all a day before she turned 14. Ramsey Edwards is New Zealand Secondary School's under-15 weightlifting champion for 81 kilogram category. Edwards also placed second in the overall National Schools under-15s division and placed third overall in the 81 plus kilograms for the over 15-year-olds. She was awarded the New Zealand gold medal for lifting a combined weight of 141 kilograms, which was the only medal in this category. And to top it off, Ramsey qualified for the Olympic weightlifting New Zealand national competitions to be held in Tauranga in November. Ramsey Edwards is a student of Aolele College and is the first female lifter from Aolele College to compete in the New Zealand national secondary competitions. Her coach is one of New Zealand's Olympic weightlifting coaches, Simon Kent, who is also the head coach of her weightlifting club, the Weightlifting Papatoe Club, where Ramsey trains 4 times a week for up to 2 hours a session. And before we leave you tonight, as the New Zealand general elections draw closer, the opportunity for you to cast your postal vote is now open for those eligible to vote. An overseas voting station is set up at the office of the New Zealand High Commission at Tāpeu for the New Zealand general elections and referendums. Eligible New Zealand citizens start casting their votes today until the 15th of October. If you are eligible to vote or need assistance to enrol as a voter, you may contact the New Zealand High Commission from the hours 9 a.m. to 3 p.m, Mondays through Fridays. On the last day, October 15th, they will remain open until 4 p.m. If you need more information, you may also visit the official New Zealand elections website, vote.nz. And that's our Bulletin of BCN News for tonight. Do join me again tomorrow for our Bulletin in Wangahau. Until then, good night.